Welcome, Power Hour listeners. This is RJ Renuka. Today we have an exciting show with Amit Inamdar. You are going to get the power-packed 30 minutes of information on home buyer emojis. Yes, you heard it right. It's called home buyer emojis. Hey, we always welcome you to call us at 510-364-6686. However, if you are unable to get in, you can always submit a question for a personal response. Just go to Amit's website, ownsweethome.net, and click on the radio show link to submit your question. And you can always find Amit Inamdar just by searching his name on Google. So let's hear more from Amit. Hello, Amit, and welcome to Power Hour.
Hey, thank you, Renuka. Hello, friends. Own Sweet Home and welcome to my show, Power Hour is with me, Amit Inamdar. Before we begin, let me emphasize that at Own Sweet Home, you have a team of brokers with over 36 years of combined real estate experience to guide you through the home buying, home selling, and home financing process. Renuka, who interviews me and asks me very insightful questions, is also a real estate and mortgage broker. Renuka and I work together to guide our clients in the often challenging real estate transactions, and we have experienced it many times where we have found the deals for our clients where the home they purchase has more value than they paid for compared to the markets at that time. That means we help uncover the hidden value when we guide you through the home buying process.
Thank you, Amit. As Amit said, when you work with us, you get two experienced realtor brokers working for you. So, Amit, let's talk about today's show. It's called Home Buyer Emoji.
This is what we are going to talk about today. You know, it's like the best emoji is when the clients are happy, the delighted emoji. You know, I have always said home buying is a emotional and a financial decision. We have addressed financial part in separate shows. We have also discussed emotional part. However, today we are diving deeper into these emotions. Buying a home can be emotional roller coaster or can be a smooth limousine ride. Our clients do experience a limousine ride and experience that home buying is an easy process. However, other buyers who are not prepared themselves or not laid out a plan of action or expectations may suffer from emotions that can be termed as home buyer emojis. Finding the right home, getting your offer accepted, followed by the loan process, inspections and disclosures, insurance needs like hazard and or flood insurance, repair costs, and actually closing on the deal all cause emotions. We are going to address most of these situations and buyer emotions today.
One of the recent articles on home buyer experience indicate that purchasing a property is utterly nerve-breaking.
And yet, at Own Sweet Home, buyers find it a limousine ride due to upfront preparation and expectations management that helps them get in line with the market reality. There are so many moving pieces in the home buying transaction: escrow, seller, inspection, loan, appraisal, repairs, and more. We talked to 43 different people from 14 different industries to complete 7 stages of a successful real estate transaction. What I recently realized is that we both have same joy when our buyers get the keys to their home as we had when we did our first real estate transaction many years ago. When our clients are happy, it leads to joy of satisfaction for us. So, Renuka, let's move ahead with our home buyer emoji.
What happens when you do not get what you see? I mean, the wide-angle online pictures as compared to what you actually see when you visit the home.
Well, I would say you get a disappointed buyer emoji, you know. Online shopping for homes before visiting them has become a common practice. However, remember that not all real estate agents are professional photographers. If pictures look bad does not mean the home is bad, and if the pictures look fabulous does not mean the home is perfect. Professional photographers and listing agents are good at disguising flaws when taking representative pictures. So the only way to truly know how the house looks like is to see it in person. Additionally, it is important to see it with us rather than during the open houses to really feel the house by spending enough time to know the features and benefits as well as drawbacks of the floor plan. When I represent sellers, I take professional photos. However, leave a room for buyers to get more excited when they visit rather than disappointed compared to these wide-angle online shots. So the first buyer emoji is disappointed with the online representation versus the true looks of the home. So let's visit the home together rather than relying on the pictures and not be disappointed and be a more realistic buyer emoji.
Next buyer emoji we have is openly confused buyer emoji after visiting open houses.
All right. Open houses are great to visit. However, remember that the visitors to the open houses are not always qualified buyers. Qualified, unqualified, underqualified, overqualified, or just looking visitors visit these open houses. What is more, many of the realtors' past clients come to see the home along with neighbors. So the crowd you see is not necessarily your competition. The number of business cards you see are not from the agents visiting with their clients. However, many are from the special broker open houses that happened just a few days ago. Also, when there's a lot of crowd, a lot of features of the home get hidden. The crowd may wrongly confuse you as for the perceived demand for the home. When you work with us, we are there to show you the home in hours. And hours that are suitable to you so we can see and discuss features of the home comfortably. We can discuss the features of the home that are beneficial as well as get a feel for the home without being crowded by the visitors. So don't be a confused buyer emoji. Let's be a comfortable buyer emoji.
I'm enjoying today's show, Amit. Buyer emojis.
Yes.
So after we have seen the homes, and when buyers like one to, actually write an offer on, so then we have a cautious buyer emoji, right?
Yes, and after seeing many homes, they have liked one to make an offer. Offer writing can be a really daunting task. To understand all contract terminologies and being able to make a decision that will lead to effective negotiations. And many times, if the buyer is not educated on the process of home buying, they will suffer a holdback while writing an offer. We have a first-time home buyer webinar as well as many training videos that educate you on the process of home buying. So, when we sit down to write an offer, you are confidently are able to make decisions based on the data we present to you. Our home buyers typically get into contract mostly in one offer or maybe up to 3 offers. When we sit down, you are already familiar with the words like contingencies, Section 1 repairs, escrow, earnest money deposit, home warranty, home insurance, title and vesting, and lot more. So now we can focus on the effective negotiations. Negotiations that are win-win. No one likes to be a loser in negotiations, do they? So with all the upfront education, now we have a courageous and composed buyer emoji.
The anxiety may come up after submitting an offer and waiting to hear back on seller's decision. So now we have an anxious buyer emoji.
Well, anxiety is common at this stage. No one likes to play a waiting game after submitting an offer. However, look at it this way. Seller waited longer to get an offer on that house, and they were anxious too. So anxiety during offer acceptance process is simply part of the home buying activity. Whether there are multiple bids or not, seller needs time to review each offer carefully. So best thing is to wait. To minimize this pain, we typically recommend attaching an addendum stating the offer expires within 24 hours. This action serves typically dual-fold purpose actually. First, it gives seller less time to shop around for other offers, and it gives you exit strategy to walk away and look for other homes sooner than later. Now you're less nervous and restless, making you a more assured buyer emoji.
Now your offer is accepted. You are excited to be a homeowner soon. However, you may get buyer's remorse since your offer got accepted. We have seen it happen. So now we have a remorseful buyer emoji. So listeners, you are listening to Power Hour with Amit Inamdar, and if you have any questions regarding real estate loans, you can always call Amit Inamdar at 510-364-6686, or to get hold of Amit, just Google Amit Inamdar real estate broker and you will know ways to find Amit. So today we are talking about the buyer emojis in the real estate transaction. So we have covered few and we have few more to go. So let's talk about the remorseful buyer emoji, Amit.
Yes, see, the buyer remorse is very common and it can happen right away after offer getting accepted or even later during the transaction. This is when the needs and wants list we have prepared upfront comes in handy. Buyer needs are non-negotiable. Wants are desires that can be managed, and they are nice to have. So when you are in contact with the seller and get those feeling of remorse, we go back to the needs list and ask, does the home satisfy my needs list? What are the unique features of the home that make this home different than the others I have seen, and is this a desirable feature? How many homes that we saw that we have liked, if this home was good enough to write an offer and get it accepted, what changed overnight? Let's say you decide to back out of the contract. What are your chances that you will find a home that is better or similar? And something you liked few days ago, now you don't. So what really changed? If it was a poor choice because your needs were not met, I understand. However, if it's just an unfounded fear, we need to address that. With this process, we have logical, good, conscious emoji.
That is a very systematic process, Amit, to make sure your decision is the sound one, and buyer's remorse can be detrimental.
And when we meet, I ask you many thought-provoking questions to truly understand what is important to you about buying a home. Because what is important to you is important to me. I lead you through the thought of process of clarifying your values. Because when your values are clear, your choices are easy. And you want to make good, easy choices. Do you not? Because I'm your consultant, one of the things I do for you is to appropriately define the problem we encounter during the transaction, because you need to differentiate essential objectives from less relevant concerns. And once you are aware of less relevant concerns, they do not cause buyer's remorse.
Buyer emotions that make you worried may be very common, during the home buying process. However, once you are trained in what to expect, then these emotions can go away. Amit's first-time home buyer webinar educated you upfront of the home buying process. So that webinar actually is available on Amit's website, ownsweethome.net. So Amit, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. For the buyers in the market, if you want to learn about the current market of home buying, you can view the first-time home buyer webinar. As Renuka indicated, it's available on my website, ownsweethome.net. That is OWN, If you are the first-time home buyer or just want to feel comfortable with the home buying process, do visit the website and listen to this recorded webinar. This will not only give you an overview of the home buying process, it will also pre-qualify you, let you know about how one goes about neighborhood selection, school selections, and more. Link is located on the home page slider. You cannot miss it. If you do not remember the website, just Google my name, Amit Inamdar, real estate broker, and you will get to my website. After you have viewed the webinar, all your questions may have been answered, and you will have new questions. This is when you have one-on-one meeting with Amit or Renuka, basically, myself or Renuka, for your pre-approval and neighborhood selection. and this will make you ready for today's market.
Yes, the webinar is a great resource for everyone. It will prepare you and educate you for the current market. You will be ahead of other buyers knowing the market dynamics, history, and contract negotiation topics that are covered in the webinar. Plus, you will have a highly knowledgeable realtor broker team with over 36 years of combined experience on your side. For buyers who are upgrading their home and must sell their home to buy another, Amit has a unique way of structuring the contract where you need not have a contingency of sale of your home to buy a new one. We can do without it in many cases, even in this market. So just call Amit and he will show you how you can buy a new home. Sometimes when you want to sell your home and buy another, the bidding process takes a special meaning and requires a creative way to present the offer. So just get hold of Amit. All you have to do is Google Amit Inamdar, real estate broker, and you will know ways to find Amit. So we are halfway through the buyer emojis when buying a home. We are going to take a short break and we will be right back.
Have you joined the Happily Ever After Club?
Happily Ever After Club?
Happily Ever After Club. Membership is automatic once you buy your dream home from Amit Inamdar. He's both real estate and mortgage broker. One stop, no need to shop.
Oh, Amit Inamdar from Own Sweet Home.
Yes, that's Amit from OWN Own Sweet Home. Call him today, 510-364-6686. Again, 510-364-6686. Or visit ownsweethome.net. That is OWNOwnSweetHome.net. DRE number 0135552 and MLS 236574.
Welcome back, friends. This is Amit Inamdar. If you are in the market to sell, buy, or finance your home, you will get unbiased advice that will save you money. And that is my promise to you. To get hold of me, just Google my name, Amit Inamdar, real estate broker, and you will know ways to find me. Having all your questions answered at one location and by one person means saving time, money, and having peace of mind that you are cared for by someone like me who knows this business. Today we are talking about the important topic of home buyer emojis.
So after we have the congratulatory call to the buyer on offer acceptance, it takes little time to sink in. But within few hours, buyers want to know now what is next, what's going to happen next. Inspections, insurance, loan, appraisal, and many, many more questions that they have. So now we have an inquisitive buyer emoji, right?
Yes, and the reason they become inquisitive, Renuka, is basically because they've been educated. And an uneducated buyer will just sit there thinking their offer is accepted and will be just kind of not be proactive, But again,
True.
We are a step ahead. We have already sent a detailed list of major milestones and timelines with all required details to our buyers. Our buyers are referring to this list on a daily basis to see what is required of them next, and they are always ahead of the curve. We have provided you with escrow details, depositing your earnest money, instructions, loan application links, and a lot more, which we will talk about in the rest of the show. However, first things first, applying for the loan and depositing your money in the escrow. Now we have a more satisfied buyer emoji, and all the upcoming concerns are addressed upfront.
Next is inspections and appraisal. Should buyer do their own inspections or accept seller's reports? And the seller disclosures, that's another part. There are so many pages to read and understand from there too. So how do I maneuver through all the inspections and reports? Those are the questions on buyer's mind. And then we have a buyer who is overwhelmed with all the information that needs digesting. So here we have an overwhelmed buyer emoji.
Yes, the mere quantity of paperwork can be overwhelming. However, we have simplified the process by first explaining you the ways to read the disclosures and reports. What to focus on when reading these reports. We sit down for reports and disclosures and review them together. If necessary, we get the inspectors involved to understand the issues. Then we prioritize based on the cost of repairs to see what to negotiate to reduce the financial impact on the buyer funds. Whether it is seller's market or buyer's market, our clients are given a comfort and understanding when going through seller disclosures and inspection reports. This makes our buyers more composed as they know we are on their side and looking after their benefit and using their money as if it were our own in protecting them. Now, we have more composed buyer emoji as opposed to overwhelmed one.
While the loan process is ongoing in parallel, the appraisal is also ordered by the lender, and the appraisal comes in lower than the appraised value. Oh boy. Now we have a fearful buyer emoji. Where are they going to get the funds to make up the difference? Will seller negotiate the price downward? Did appraiser made any mistake when he did the appraisal? How do we address the newly created and unanticipated problem?
Yes, and that's where the contingency is coming to play, But appraisal can bring out fears in the transaction. This is why at Own Sweet Home, we do risk management and writing offers that will protect buyers from appraisal issues and limit their financial exposure. Let's say you have an appraisal contingency, meaning the contract is written with a stipulation that if the appraised value comes in lower than the offer price, that you offered for that told seller that you're going to buy the house at, as a buyer, you have right to not buy the property. So as the appraised value came in lower for the case in question, we can just not buy the property as its value is lower than the offer price. Alternatively, since you are so attached to the property and looking forward to be your home, we can negotiate with the seller lower purchase price based on the appraisal. Seller may agree, disagree, or maybe they may ask you to settle somewhere in between. Whatever the case may be, your options open up to close the transaction successfully. Imagine a situation where you do not have an appraisal contingency. That means you will have to come up with extra funds. In such situations, we have already done some level of risk management while submitting the offer. Even when we had no appraisal contingency, we have negotiated the price downward, knowing seller's anxiety to close transactions sooner and move on. And this is where actually we use our loan knowledge to show the seller that, hey, we are ready to close. Only thing holding us up is this appraised value, and buyers, funds and other things, they're going to be stretched and stuff. And I have seen in 80% of the cases, the sellers have reduced the price, irrespective of this appraisal contingency. But again, you need to know how to negotiate.
So you are turning the fear buyer emoji into a negotiator buyer emoji. Great, Amit. Great.
Yes,
So contracts are again, contracts are the best thing, but everyone must perform their end of the deal.
One more thing that I would like to mention, the appraisers can make a mistake also, okay? And when appraisers make a mistake, then we have to do what's called a appeal for the appraisal. And they may come in lower because they made a mistake. They did not use the right comparables and things like that. And in those cases, the bank loan officer cannot do these appeals. And real estate agents are not involved in the loan transaction. So as a real estate and mortgage broker, we end up doing this for the buyers. And we have successfully done those to avoid buyers paying the difference between the appraised and the offer price. And you're talking about the contracts, right?
Yes. Where everyone must perform their end of the deal, even including buyers and sellers. So when sellers do things that are not in the contract or do not do things that are agreed on buyers, so buyers may get upset, and we have a upset buyer emoji. We have around like a minute and a half, Amit.
All right. Okay. So the buyers get upset. Of course, the sellers will get upset with buyers don't perform on time, and that's why we have negotiated things even in the late stages of the transaction to bring the smiles on the buyers' faces. And we have had this story that we talked about a refrigerator that crawled back from all the way from Sacramento back in Fremont just because of these last-minute negotiations. Okay, and we have this smiley emoji. And talking about smiley emoji, when you work with us, as indicated in the beginning, you get our limousine service. You have been educated, your expectations have been set based on various options, and there are no surprises. And basically, that makes you, at the end of the transaction, a really delighted buyer and a proud homeowner. So our commitment to you and giving unbiased advice on the real estate transactions has helped our clients to be a delighted homeowner. We look forward to your calls and initial consultations to your home buying a reality. Thank you again. Have a great weekend. Own Sweet Home, and I'll see you next week.